Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to tonight's meeting. As I lose my notes. Welcome to the special town council meeting for Monday, June 9th. We are now called to order, and we have a couple of items on the agenda for tonight. I'll call for a motion to approve the agenda at this time.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any amendments or comments regarding tonight's agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The agenda for the special town council meeting is approved. Next, we will move into, let me get back on track. So our agenda is our scheduled public hearing for annexation resolution number 01-2025A, a resolution by the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to amend annexation resolution 01-2025 to excise certain properties and enlarge the corporate boundaries of the town by annexation of 26 acres of land more or less in lieu of approximately 113 acres as originally proposed. Madam Clerk, if you could please collect the sign-in sheets and leave one at the table in case someone arrives late who may wish to speak. And while the clerk is bringing the list forward, I have to ask, are there any designated representatives with us tonight from the Prince George's County government, either the administrative or legislative branch? Is there anyone with us from the Maryland Department of Planning? Are there any representatives from the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission? And finally, are there any representatives from the Prince George's County Planning Board? Per section 4-406 of the local government article of the Maryland Annotated Code, representatives from these entities will be given the right to speak first and will be granted 3 minutes to address the mayor and council. In calling upon these representatives, I do not see anyone who's made their presence known by standing. And so I'll move to the public sign-up sheet for those residents who wish to speak.
Mayor, there's nobody signed up to speak.
Okay, thank you, Madam Clerk. At this time, I will ask the council if you have any specific comments regarding annexation resolution number 01-2025. And while you're thinking about it, I want to just acknowledge the efforts of the council in getting us to this process. And thank you for doing the hard work and pushing to grow the town. I want to also recognize and thank all of our staff members and consultants who've also been with us every step of the way. The whole goal is growth. As everyone knows, the town is so small, we're limited in terms of what we can do to grow and expand our borders. And annexation is the way that we're able to do that and enhance not just the amenities, but also increase the number of residents in our community and businesses. And so with that, I want to thank everyone for their time participating in the public hearing of annexation resolution 01-2025A. We will now move through the agenda to unfinished business. And at this time, annexation, and I'll read it for summary, annexation resolution number 01-2025A. Again, a resolution by the town council of the town of Bladensburg to amend resolution 01-2025 to excise certain properties and enlarge the corporate boundaries of the town by annexation of 26 acres of land more or less in lieu of approximately 113 acres as originally proposed. Do I have a motion to approve annexation resolution 01-2025A?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Are there any questions or discussion at this time regarding the resolution? All right, seeing no hands and hearing none. Madam Clerk, please conduct the roll call vote.
Councilmember Blunt?
Here.
Councilmember McBride?
Aye.
Here.
Aye. Councilmember Brown?
Aye.
Mayor James?
Aye.
It's unanimous, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So the motion carries. All right. Again, I want to thank everyone for their participation and to the council for unanimously passing the annexation resolution. Madam Clerk, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll sign this. It's enacted today, June 9th, and we will have to note it becomes effective 45 days from today, which is the 24th of July. Do you have that correct?
That is correct, Mayor.
All right, and this will be signed and posted for public viewing and also made available online.
That is correct.
Excellent. All right, so with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn tonight's public hearing.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any comments or questions before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The hearing is adjourned. Thank you. And next, we'll continue on with the regular town council meeting. We'll now call the council meeting to order for Monday, June the 9th, 2025. At this time, I will ask Councilmember McBride if you would deliver the opening prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for everyone that's been able to assemble here and those that are online. We thank you, O God, for the mercy and your grace. We ask you to continue to bless the town of Bladensburg. Bless us all together, lovely. Strengthen us and unify us together that we can work together in peace and love and unity. In Christ's name, I ask these blessings. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Councilmember McBride. Since we have a special guest with us this evening, yes, I believe we have a couple of them, and there's a handout as well addressing the excused absences. Where is it? Yeah, the list is provided, and so we'll add her to that for tonight.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were gonna make the public.
Yeah, I'll make sure I do that. Thank you. At this time, the next item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I wanted to ask a very special resident, Ethan Mendoza, if you would come and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Sorry to put you on the spot. Sorry, not sorry.
The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ethan. One of our young leaders in the community, and you'll understand why we're so proud of him in just a moment. At this time, we'll move on to item 4, which is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any additions or amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. The next item under 4A is approval of excused absences. And we do want to note that Councilmember Dixon is not with us. Her flight was delayed, and so she's in transit, was not able to get here for tonight's council meeting. Additionally, we have March 10th council meeting where myself and Councilmember Blunt were absent. March 8th, the budget work session where Councilmember Blunt had to depart early. April 1st, the budget work session where Councilmember Blunt was not able to attend. April 14th council meeting, I was on travel, attended the work session, but could not stay for the full council meeting and had to depart and get back to work. April 29th, the special work session, Councilmember Dixon was not able to attend. The May 9th budget review session, I was not able to attend due to my work schedule. May 12th, the council meeting, Councilmember Brown was not able to attend. And then again tonight, June 9th, Councilmember Dixon is not able to join us. So is there a motion to approve each of these as excused absences?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Are there any corrections or anything that was missed under the list of excused absences? No? All right, hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The next item for tonight, it falls under presentations. We had Miss Gloria, who's supposed to be with us from Delegate Diana Fennell's office.
She's online, Mayor.
Okay. Miss Gloria, we will turn it over to you if you want to come on camera and come off mute.
Okay. Good evening. The only things we have to announce this week is we're having our scholarship fund given out on June 17th. And we're having our health fair on June 21st at the Rhode Island Firehouse. Other than that, that's all the announcements I have.
Great. Thank you so much for keeping us updated on what's coming up for Delegate Fennell's office. And we appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight, Miss Gloria.
My pleasure.
Thank you. At this time, we'll stick with our online speakers and transition over to Miss Renee Green for the town's Patriotic Committee update.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor, council members, staff, and town. Wish I was there in person, but I've had a little injury to my knee, so I'm kind of slowed down a little bit. But Memorial Day was a huge success. You'll hear a little bit more about that in a couple minutes. But our guest speaker was Ethan Mendoza. He told us about his Eagle Scout project, which was completely redoing the Pearl Harbor Memorial. He did a wonderful job, and I know that we are all very proud of him. The memorial will be there forever, and we will never forget the men and women who lost their lives at Pearl Harbor. But thanks to him. If you have not seen the memorial, please stop by Memorial Park and look at it. It is beautiful. Really did a wonderful job. The Peace Cross turns 100, and we will have a 100th anniversary ceremony on July the 12th at 11 o'clock, followed by a luncheon at the Chevrolet American Legion. We have a lot of great guest speakers, and everyone will receive a memorial brochure at the event. I look forward to seeing everyone at that, and also at the fireworks that we'll be having, and I believe it's on July the 3rd. So look forward to seeing everyone at those events.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Green, and thank you for continuing to highlight and prioritize the organization of our patriotic events. We truly appreciate your spirit of volunteerism. It's no wonder you went to Elizabeth Seton. It's part of the the grace to do, the light to know. You're bringing it into the community, and so we certainly appreciate that. And not to bury the headline, but Ms. Green talked a little bit about Ethan Mendoza, who we have the honor of recognizing tonight and having him here at the town council meeting with us. And the whole reason, Ethan, is not to embarrass you. I promise it isn't. But a lot of times we hear this saying that children are the future. And that is not the truth. Children are today. What you did by seeing an issue where we had war heroes who were not properly recognized in our community, you saw the problem and you stepped in as a Boy Scout. How many years ago? 3 years ago now? 4 years ago? You didn't just say, oh, that's a shame. You actually took the initiative to do something about it and bring recognition to the fact that we needed to do a better job honoring those who lost their lives during the tragedy of Pearl Harbor. And so I think it's just a testament to the young man that you are, but also to your parents our former council member, Chris Mendoza, try not to get emotional here, your beautiful mother, Penny Mendoza. The fact that you guys don't just talk about community, but you embody it, and to have a son who took the time to raise money to let everyone know why this was so important. And also to say, come on, town, we can do better than this. This little plaque that we have here is not sufficient for really giving justice and recognition to these heroes who sacrificed their lives and whose families have been forever impacted by the loss of those lives. I was watching a documentary over the winter going into spring, and just hearing the stories of how bodies are still being recovered and how they're doing the necessary analysis to reunite those remains with the families and finally give these heroes a proper burial. I don't know how you can't be touched by things like that. And so, Ethan, if you would join me over at the podium, please. So Ethan, it seems so inadequate, but again, we just wanted you to know how much we appreciate your efforts. This certificate of appreciation states the town of Bladensburg Mayor and Council presents this certificate of appreciation to Ethan to certify that Ethan Mendoza is hereby recognized by the town of Bladensburg for your leadership and dedication in creating the new Pearl Harbor Memorial at the Bladensburg Memorial Grove Park. Your vision and commitment have provided a lasting tribute to the heroes of December 7th, 1941, and a meaningful addition to our community. Thank you so much for inspiring efforts and contribution to the 2025 Memorial Day celebration and ceremony. Thank you so much, Ethan.
Thank you.
Would you like to tell the community a little bit about what you accomplished?
The Pearl Harbor Memorial, it was a plaque for many years, and then there was a bush, and that covered it up, and that was really bad, and I decided that it needed something a bit more deserving of Pearl Harbor, so I worked with Park and Planning to put in a memorial. Right. We're able to get an anchor, and we're able to get granite, and we're able to make, I think, something that is more deserving of the people who lost their lives on that day and deserving of standing with the other memorials in the Bladensburg Memorial Park. Yeah.
Stand in front of the dais and get a picture with you and your parents. So we have more cause for celebration. One of the things that I had been wanting to do for many years was to have a scholarship program to support young people in Bladensburg who are aspiring to continue their education. And I'm thankful to the council for really supporting this vision and bringing it to pass. I believe all of our recipients are here, or most of them. I'm going to go to the podium and call you up, and I hope you won't leave me hanging, young people. If you're not here, then we will work to contact you. Of course, we have your information and get your award letters to you and certificates, but I'll head back over to the podium. And actually, before I want to do that, I want to acknowledge and congratulate the new mayor of Cheverly, Michael Watson, who's with us tonight. Thank you for being here. He's also part of the troop that young Ethan Mendoza is a part of and a leader within that. So we appreciate you developing and mentoring young men, just as former council member Chris Mendoza has been doing for a number of years. Thank you so much. And so the award reads, the Town of Bladensburg Mayor and Council presents the Certificate of Recognition 2025 Soaring Eagle Scholarship recipient, Brianna Delcid. Your hard work, determination, and academic excellence have earned you this recognition and a $1,000 scholarship from the Town of Bladensburg. We are so proud to support your journey and look forward to the great things your future holds. Congratulations on soaring to new heights. Is Brianna here with us tonight? Okay. Everyone's up here. And next, I won't belabor it and read the certificate since it's the same, but this next Soaring Eagle Scholarship recipient is Rosa Cienfuegos. Rosa, are you here tonight? I don't see Rosa. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next Soaring Eagle Scholarship recipient is Gianna Burns Ferguson. The next Soaring Eagle Scholarship recipient is Fadil Ojuola. Is Fadil here tonight? No? Okay, no problem. And then the final award recipient is Gianna Parrish. Gianna, are you here? Sorry, council members, to do it to you again, but can you come down and yes, take a photo with our soaring eagles? So congratulations again to all of the student recipients and your families. Your families should be so proud because they've also helped you to achieve this academic success. So we're so grateful for that as well. So yes, thank you to the families. Yes. I'm sure the parents are like, hallelujah, every little bit helps. And so with that, that completes the presentations for tonight. We're now on to item number 6, which is the approval of meeting minutes. We'll begin with the April 14th Town Council meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
The motion is moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Are there any comments or edits to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Oh, sorry, Ms. Watson, there was one clarification on the item number 11. It said attended COG and PGCC meetings for council members McBride and Dixon. I think that's supposed to be PGCMA meetings on page 9. Other than that, we'll call the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Is there a motion to approve the special meeting minutes for April 14th?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any corrections or edits regarding the meeting minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. Next, we're on to the special town council meeting minutes for May the 12th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any corrections to the minutes or comments regarding them? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And finally, we're on to the town council meeting minutes for May 12th. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any corrections or comments regarding the meeting minutes? I'll just note on page 18, the town administrator's last name just needs to be corrected. On page 18, 19, I think that was it. Yeah, just on those two pages, 18 and 19. Any other corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. We're now on to public comment, item number 7. With that, Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you to call the residents up.
Our first resident comment is Miss Susan McCutcheon.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, everybody here, and everyone watching at home. I want to give a little update on the maglev. Susan McCutcheon, I'm sorry, Spring Road. I apologize. An update on maglev. There's a strong effort by Northeast maglev lobbyists, who also are lobbyists. I found out for Prince George's County Council, which is kind of interesting. So at any rate, there's an effort going to try to convince Prince George's County Council and councils to ask the Federal Railroad Administration to take the project off pause. And it's a complex issue, but there's a big effort. So we're working on that and trying to get out the word about what's happening. But the other thing is the youth are the present. And I'm struck that right now Pearl Harbor Memorial is beautiful. The people need to be remembered for fighting for this country. Well, we're in a fight for this country right now. And I know some might not agree with me, and that's fine. I'm with Indivisible Prince George's County. There's also an Indivisible College Park, Indivisible Route 1, etc. And we're not about violence, we're not. But we have to resist. We can't just lie down and let ourselves be walked over. And that is what's happening. So I encourage everybody this Saturday, just look it up, No King's Day. The events are not meant to be in DC. There may be groups in DC, but that's not where we're going to go. But to protest the idea that on that day, it's supposed to be about armed forces. It's not supposed to be about someone's birthday. And it's not just supposed to be power by an oligarch or a leader who wants to emulate people from some other countries who are dictators. So I urge people to look up No King's Day and look for events. I personally am going to go to one at Riverdale Park. As I said, there's one at College Park. There's one in Greenbelt. And be involved and at least pay attention and write your senators or your congressmen and call. Because if you let your voice go, you're not doing anything. And then you look tomorrow, just like the maglev, and they're digging up everything. We don't have rights anymore. And we can just and the government can do whatever it wants. Don't lie down for it, please. And at least look into it and study the issue and look for yourself and look in within your heart. Is there some danger? Maybe there is, but look at the people at Pearl Harbor. Look at the people who have died in the past. And I'm not saying to die, I'm just saying, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. McCutcheon.
Next public comment is Miss Crystal Williams.
It's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes people get confused because they think it's the sign-in sheet, but they're signing up to speak. Okay. Oh, no worries. Okay. I think they're all in a row.
I was gonna say yes. So okay, so I'm gonna go. All right, so I'm just gonna go down this just to make sure I don't miss anybody. Okay, so we had Chris. Okay, Shaka. No comment. Okay, Miss Yvette. Okay, perfect. Yes.
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
You have to go to the mic.
Hello, I'm a proud resident of Bladensburg community. I've been here for more than 21 years. And when I've been recently displaced from my residence, and it's a horrible experience. We've come here today to ask our councilman and anyone in the community can give us some help and give me back entry into our homes. Due to the fact that we had a fire, we have not been given any sort of proper information until recently about how we're going to be able to maintain our homes and maintain our lives. I'm very happy and very blessed to be a resident of Bladensburg. And I hope if anyone in the community can know that they can offer us any kind of services or assistance, we greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Terry McCloy. Yeah. Together. Okay, so we have Miss Terry and Mary.
We are I'm Terry McCoy. This is Mary, and we're from Parkview residents. We're Parkview residents, and we wanted to find out about the monies that was allocated to Parkview for us to use as our spending for the seniors in the building, and also we want to know, was someone sent to Parkview to oversee the residents from this facility?
From the council member.
Yeah.
Her question is, I'm sorry, what Ms. Terry is trying to ask, Parkview at Bladensburg does not have a council board. However, the question is, we have some residents that's in charge of the money, who is the treasurer, and her name is Kim Joy. She's here. Colette is assisting her. Mrs. Terry is interested in having a Juneteenth for the residents at Parkview. However, she approached Miss Kim on having it. And while she was talking, one of the other, Colette interfered that we have to have a meeting. However, the signs was made in Publix to have a meeting tomorrow for the residents to vote on for that event. Her question is, who do you report to for Parkview to have events there? Because you have someone there that's acting like they're in charge of what's going on for the residents. And there's no activities at Parkview at this point. I mean, it was very nice things going on there for the resident. We're not having anything other what Enterprise does for the residents. So that's what she was interested in doing.
We just want to know, was someone sent to oversee the Parkview residents from the council?
You understand what she's saying? Is there someone in charge of that we have to get approved to have the events, or do we come to the council board? Because you have someone that's being rude about you have to go through them first to have events, and then Kim. Kim is not really being disrespectful at all, but the other person is being disrespectful, and Kim is very humble about, approving it, going and just let her know what you want to do. But I personally got him because of Miss Terry wants to do something.
We just want to know
Yes.
what somebody said.
That's
the
is
question.
that person in charge and you have to report to her to have events, or do you ask Kim and Kim come back to the council member for the events? Because this person is really, everything is going at Parkview. Nothing
Thank
is
you, Ms.
happening.
Hill.
Even
Yeah.
me.
Thank you.
Yes.
So for public comment, the way it works is we don't have a back and forth here, but we can talk with you certainly after the meeting to
Yes,
try to
ma'am.
help resolve this
Okay.
and try to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
But
thank
thank
you
you
so-
for taking
thank
the
you.
time to come
Yeah, thank you
tonight.
so much for listening, and please assist us. Well, I might not be there because I'm going out of town. However, but Terry is very interested in having an event and doing something. So help us get Parkview back together, please.
Thank you
Well, I
so
really would
much.
appreciate. I'll do anything I can to help.
Thank you,
You
Ms.
know, I
Hill.
really, I'm
Thank
there. I've been
you.
there for Parkview, but
Yeah.
I have a mother I'm taking care of now, and
We
myself.
understand.
So please understand.
I'm sorry, Ms. Hill, your time expired, so we do
Yeah.
have to
Thank
move
you. Oh,
on.
I didn't
I'm
understand. This is my
sorry.
first time ever.
It's
So
okay.
please
I'm
understand. I don't
sorry.
know.
No, it's okay. Did you get your earbuds off the, you set them down. Don't forget those. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Watson.
Our next commenter, I'm sorry. Our next public comment is Miss Joyce Williams. Nothing? Okay. Lennox Park. Is there a Lennox next public? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I've been a resident of Bladensburg for over 30 years, and I'm living at the corner of 55th and Volta. My request today is actually for an addition to our little park that we have at Varnum and 54th Place. See, I've just retired and I've been taking my granddaughter more often to the park, and it's a very popular park for a lot of people in the neighborhood. I walk there. The only issue I have is that I'm requesting a shed to be put into the park. One similar to the one you have in this compound, not a very expensive one, just something that's, that can provide shelter from the rain. Since I don't drive down there, I just walk. So that's a nice little park that I've been going to since I moved to Bladensburg. It's at 54th Place and Varnum. And a lot of little kids use it, especially in the evening. And if you go there, you see that it's very popular for the kids. So I'm just requesting that a shed be put there to provide shelter from rain and stuff like that, so that we don't have to run somewhere in somebody's car or somebody's house when the rain comes down. And I don't need something expensive. I need something just like the one you have here in the compound. You have two. You have an expensive one and you have a small one that has two tables inside. Now, I don't know if I'm coming to the right avenue because the way how things works, some things are parks and planning, some things are on the Bladensburg. I don't know who's right, but who's controlling that. But that's my request, and I know my time is going to be up, so I just ask you to let somebody contact me and give me some information as how to get my shed done for my little granddaughter. She loves go there every week.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So if we can add that to our list for park and planning, I know we're trying to set that meeting up for July, but
it's already.
okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, Ms. Watson.
Our next public comment is Roxanne Bennett. Okay, perfect. And that is all for public comments, Mayor.
All right, thank you so much. And thank you to all the residents who took the time, not just to attend the meeting, but to come out and express your concerns. Again, we don't do a back and forth here. This is your time to just tell us what's going on, unfiltered, no interruptions. And that way, after the meeting, we can figure out how we address your respective concerns and go from there. At this time, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is unfinished business. At this time, we do not have any items under unfinished business, and we'll continue on to financial business, because since November of 2024, we have been working on this budget, and we are finally at the place, after many, many hours of studying and meetings and follow-up discussions, we are at a place where we have a proposed balanced budget that we want to pass and present tonight. So with that build up, Town Administrator, I'm turning it over to you and Mr. Tonelli.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. We're proud to present the fiscal year 26 budget for you. As the Mayor mentioned, the town has been working on this since December. Actually, you're right. We started November, early December on this budget. We've had a total of, the Mayor corrected me in my last presentation, of almost 13 meetings on the budget. But I'd like to kind of go through the last 5 or 6 iterations so that we can just give you a quick overview and synopsis of where we started and where we are now. Back in February, when we first presented the whole budget dilemma to the council, we had a $1.5 million deficit. This in part was due to the fact that we included COLAs and merits for all employees like we had last year. Given the economic conditions and things that are going on in general with the federal government, we knew that that was probably one of the first things that we would have to cut as far as offering our employees an additional COLA and merit this year. So once we removed that, we were able to move down the budget to about the budget deficit down to about $1.3 million. Our total compensation right now is about $7.7 million. The town has grown significantly since 2020 and added a new staff in our police department and in our public works to help grow our services, which has been a really good thing. And I've been proud of the fact that we've been able to provide more services to residents. At this time, we also looked at, and that's March of 2025, we looked at our property tax assessments. And one thing that the council made clear is the fact that there was not a desire to raise taxes to individual property owners within the town. Those taxes have remained flat for the last 16 years, and our recommendation is that they still remain flat at 7.74 cents in this budget. But we did look at some of the taxes that we have to our commercial and our industrial and we have on our apartments. What we did is, like many of the other municipalities in the area, we've split up tax revenue codes instead of having a single tax revenue code. So when we looked at our budget in March, we also made a recommendation to look at our business personal property and some of our business license fees, and those have been proposed to be increased. This instead helped to move down some of our budget deficit to by another $700,000, and by March we were down to about $300,000 in our deficit from the 1.3 that I had previously mentioned. By looking at what we've done over the last few years is that we've looked at the fact that some of our revenues have changed. An example that we wanted to kind of just bring up to everyone is the cable franchise fees. 4 years ago, we were receiving about $120,000 in cable franchise fees. This year, we're at about half of that, $60,000, and that's partly due to the way that people watch television. We receive those fees based on cable subscribers, and not as many people are subscribing to cable. We also saw some increases in our insurance and our liability. So there's offsets up and down throughout the budget process. But we've also then made some adjustments in the last few weeks to look at more closely of where we could cut some funds and things like that. So the mayor and council made some adjustments to their budget. The police have made great efforts. I'd want to thank Chief Collington for seriously getting a pencil out and kind of reworking his budget over the last few weeks and helping us to get this to a balanced budget. We've also asked the employees to take on a little bit more. Our employees that have take-home vehicles, that amount has been increased for their contribution. And then the other portion that we also asked from our employees is because we experienced an over $400,000 in increase in our insurance over the last few years. And our employees are paying more for their health insurance this year. And so that helped to cut our budget down significantly as well. So with all that said, what we're asking tonight is for the council to approve the budget ordinance, which is attached. In that budget ordinance, they'll be adopting new tax rates. They will also be adopting personal property and the utility tax rates at new amounts from fiscal year 25 to 26. Those rates are for single family homeowners, again, 74 cents. For all other properties, it's 0.85 cents. And then for our business property, it is $3.25 from $2.50. And for the public utility, business personal property is 2.5 from 2.09 to 2.5, and for the public utility from 2.5 to 3.25, $3.25. So with that all said, Mayor, I recommend the FY26 budget for the town of Bladensburg. And if there's any questions, myself or Mr. Tonelli will be able to answer any questions for you.
Thank you, Madam Town Administrator. Mr. Tonelli, anything you want to add?
I think she summed it up great. But as town administrator said, we had a huge loss. It was like this, and then we got funneled down into a break-even budget now. Is it painless? No. I mean, it's, but everybody, unfortunately, is going through the same thing right now, especially as town minister said, we don't know the results yet of the Fed impacts. We don't know the results yet of the state impacts, and all that, filters down into the municipalities. So it's hopefully it will get better, but like right now, we're just budgeting as based on what we know right now. And as we got closer and closer to getting this budget done, we got better and better information, because when we started off in February, there's a lot of uncertainty, but as you get close to the start of the fiscal year, we're able to use what we got some better info on, like actually our workers' comp rate came down. We just found that out just over a week ago, which helped a lot. So it's a good budget, and I'm hoping that things will improve next year or even the next 6 months. But what it is right now is what we know right now. It's this point in time right now. So.
And I appreciated the context that you gave the council and the public at the work session in terms of, for many years, we never increased the taxes in town. And it's just now that we're at this point where we have to do some modifications, but you were saying it's kind of miraculous or impressive that we've been able to grow and have some sustainability without having done that in the past, 16 years?
At least. I mean, it's been probably before that. And, but, to say all that, the residential tax rate to citizens is still the same. So it's, for us to balance it on that, a lot of municipalities and counties, they change their tax rates every year. It's floating. So it's, ours has been fixed for much longer before I came here. So, and a good thing is the residential rate has remained constant.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that sort of context providing and table setting as we consider this resolution. So, Madam Clerk.
Mayor.
Oh, sorry.
Just one thing real quick, because I thought I heard something about single family homes. So it's the utilities and railroads business tax, the business personal property tax, the real estate tax for apartments, and business and industrial the real estate taxes.
That is correct. It's actually
Okay.
residential properties instead of being single family, but
Right, it's no single. I just want people
just,
to
they're just
know.
residential. It's just the residential. Sorry.
Yeah. Just want to be clear.
Thank you. And I don't see a hand online. So With that, Madam Clerk, would you please conduct the second reading of budget ordinance number 01-2026?
Yes, Mayor. It's Budget Ordinance 01-2026, an ordinance to levy the real property and personal property taxes rates and appropriate and adopt the operating budget of the mayor and town council of Bladensburg, Maryland for the 2026 fiscal year of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. Be it further enacted and ordained that residential single-family property tax levy will be 74 cents per every $100. Commercial property tax levy will be 82 cents per every $100. Industrial property tax levy will be 82 cents per every $100. Apartment property tax levy will be 85 cents per $100. Business personal property tax levy will be 2.5 per every $100. Be it further enacted and ordained by the mayor and council of Bladensburg that the business property tax levy for public utilities and railroads would be $3.25 per every 100. Be it further enacted and ordained by the mayor and town council of Bladensburg that the general operating budget of the fiscal year 2026 is attached and is hereby adopted, and it be further enacted and ordained that upon adoption of this ordinance, the same shall be authenticated by the signature of the mayor and town clerk to be recorded among the town books and kept for the purpose, and that a certified copy of the ordinance shall be posted in the town hall in public view for a period of not less than 10 days after its passage, and be it further enacted and ordained that this ordinance shall be effective on the first day of July 2025. The requirements for reading this ordinance at two separate meetings was fulfilled on May 12th and tonight, June 9th, 2025, introduced by the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg at a town council meeting on May 12th, and thereafter, this ordinance was prominently posted in town hall and available for inspection by the public.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And with that, is there a motion from the council to adopt budget ordinance number 01-2026?
Also moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the budget? I think we talked about it at length. All right, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The ayes have it. The budget is approved. Thank you, everyone. I feel like we should celebrate. If the council will permit me to make a small adaptation, I think one of our scholarship award winners made it in, and I want to just take a moment to acknowledge that individual. I just want to be sure. Are you Fidel? Okay, well, we will pause. And I think the other scholarship winners are still here. So we can do another group photo if that's all right with the council. Okay, perfect. So if you'll join me, please. Right. So because Fidel wasn't here earlier, I'll read his entire certificate. The Town of Bladensburg Mayor and Council presents the Certificate of Recognition for the 2025 Soaring Eagle Scholarship recipient, Fidel Odujuola. Your hard work, determination, and academic excellence have earned you this recognition and a $1,000 scholarship from the Town of Bladensburg. We're proud to support your journey and look forward to the great things your future holds. Congratulations on soaring to new heights, awarded this 9th day of June 2025. Congratulations. You're welcome. All right. So we did this earlier, Fidel, but we don't want you to be left out. So if the other scholarship recipients could come back up for one more picture, we're going to have the other students take a picture with you. So if you just stand right here in the front for us. You guys gonna come? Councilmember Blunt, we're gonna have to Photoshop you into the picture
Yeah.
wearing fuchsia. The fashionista on the council. All right, so we completed financial business, and now we're into new business, beginning with Resolution 30-2025. This is a resolution of the Town of Bladensburg and Port Town's application for DCHD funding. Town Administrator, I'll turn it over to you.
Mayor, Council, thank you again. This is a resolution of support and for the application that we're submitting on behalf of the port towns, not just the Town of Bladensburg, for funding for our new CDC for both the National Capital Strategic Development NED and the state revitalization funds for wayfinding and branding. So basically, we're just asking for your support to apply for this grant, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Town Administrator, for the overview of this particular grant. As we stated before, this will go a long way with helping us get this off the ground immediately versus getting the CDC started and taking 2 years to solicit funding to get some of these projects off the ground. So we really appreciate you and the other managers and town administrators working together on this. Council, is there a motion to approve Resolution 30-2025?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions from the council before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The resolution is passed. Now we're at Resolution 31-2025, a resolution authorizing the declaration of items surplus and disposition of these items by the police department. I'll turn it over to a combination of the deputy chief and town administrator.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I'm just going to start it off. This is a resolution that authorizes a surplus of items from the police department. We have a vendor that's called Gov Deals that has helped us with our vehicle surplus, and they've actually sold about 8 to 9, and I'll get this number wrong, but probably 9 to 10 cars for us that in a previous item. I want to again thank Ms. Watson, our town clerk, for getting us started with Gov Deals and also taking care of that process. The chief and I both reviewed this, the presentation that was provided by Gov Deals. They sell items for entities all over the country. They're actually the largest municipal auction website in the country. And they will be able to handle this efficiently, but I will let the major talk a little bit more about this process. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's certainly good to clear a lot of the excess inventory that the police department had on hand. That's going to give us a lot more space, and the fact that we're going to be compensated for it is even better. So we had a lot of old vehicles that we were able to auction off, and that was good as well. So the process, the whole project is good overall.
And Major, is this consistent with what your experience was at your prior agency at Prince George's County with getting rid of surplus items?
It certainly is, yes. For those that don't know, I retired from Prince George's County Police Department, and we had a similar way to deal with excess property and to get the most value for it. So yes, that's a good point.
Just want to make sure there's no flags that are not consistent with how things work for you at your prior agency.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So with that, is there a motion to approve Resolution 31-2025?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any comments or questions regarding this particular resolution? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much. And the next item, the community presentation, Town Administrator, I'll turn it back over to you for this item.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So this is a community presentation on the introduction of the Bladensburg Community Garden, which is a project that is being conducted by Eco City Farms. The Eco City Farms was, the organization Eco City Farms was awarded the FY 2025 Green Equity Grant from the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, or DNR. They're going to develop a 10,000 square foot community garden class and a classroom at 5801 at Emerson Street, which is a National Capital Park planning property. But it's also the site of Port Towns Elementary. It's right near Port Town Elementary, Rogers Heights, and Elizabeth Seton. The project aims to improve food access and education, but it also creates a community garden space that'll have approximately 8 to 10 large garden plots and 5 or 6 smaller garden plots. Part of this project will have a community input process. The town was very supportive of this application by Eco City Farms, and it's something that I know the town council was very eager to see, which are more community garden lots for community members. And it's just something that we were really happy about. The timeline for this, they're going to start the community engagement process this spring and this summer. And so they're going to ask residents, what do they think about this idea, so that they can design it so that it works for the community. Fall to spring, they will start the construction of the garden. And by next summer, the garden will be launched, and we will be doing a ribbon cutting there to say this is a new place that's open for the community. So with that, I'm here to take any other questions that you have, but this is a public process that is required by the grant. And so I want to make sure that we are fully explaining what Eco City Farms is doing and how the town will be supporting this project.
Thank you, Madam Town Administrator. And to the public, whether you're in the room or watching, this is an initiative that we really want residents to take advantage of. We may complain about not having access to fresh fruits and vegetables, but we have the opportunity to change that. And also to use this as an opportunity to engage one another, to get out there. What better way to be down in the dirt, taking care of your garden plot and meeting your neighbors and forming meaningful connections. So it is really important that we support this particular project. The Eco City Farm is there right around the corner. And this particular site is where they used to have the farmer's market. And it was so disappointing that the community did not support that farmer's market. And so they stopped. And when I asked them to come back, I mean, the farmers were just like, the residents are not coming out. If they're growing these things, there's only so much shelf life to these fruits and vegetables. They have to take them to where people are going to buy them immediately. So I feel like this is our second chance for the community. Please come out and support this. We will blast the public meetings through all of our social media channels. We'll make sure it's on the TV station as well, so residents are aware. And just really encourage everyone to come out. It's so interesting, and it was noted in the documentation. We have residents from Cameroon, and they love farming at Eco City Farms, and they're able to grow native vegetables and fruits from their country over here, which makes them feel connected to home, but still a part of our country too. And so it's just unique how farming can give you that sensation of being home, but being present here, still having healthy fruits and vegetables. So again, we appreciate everyone who's made this project possible. And so there's no formal action required by the town for that particular item. So we'll move on to the contract approval. We have a couple tonight, and we'll begin with the Calvert Ready Mix contract for the sidewalk and curb repairs as part of CDBG PY 50. So town clerk and Public Works Supervisor, I'll turn it over to both of you.
Shall I go first again? So, Mayor and Council, this is for our sidewalk project. We had 9 submissions for this project, and right now we chose Calvert Ready Mix and Concrete as the most responsive bidder for the project. Because of the amount, we're looking to put another RFP out to the out next week, so that we can possibly do more sidewalk projects in the town, because we did really get a good good price on this RFP that we put out. And
good afternoon, Mayor and Council, residents and audience. As Ms. Regine said, Town Clerk, sometimes it's not just looking at the price or the lowest price. In construction, you're basing on the scope of work that your engineers prepared for you all. So that's what we really concentrated on. It wasn't just the amount of dollar. It was more pertaining to which company can do what we're asking them to do. Not do what they're telling us to do, but what we're asking them to do. Some contractors will come out, well, this doesn't look that way. We need to add this. We need to add that. We need to add this. As I stated earlier, this contract right here is plain and simple. It's basically remove and repair. Repair means back in kind as what it is, unless any type of structure or anything like that is impacted. And with this company, every structure, we have 3 houses that has 3 fences, different type of fences, chain link, wooden, vinyl, but they, in the scope of their work, they are proven to repair anything that's damaged by them making the sidewalks ADA compliant. ADA compliant is an American Disability Act for anyone, wheelchairs, not just wheelchairs, people with strollers, anything. It has to be a certain amount of foot so anybody can, maneuver properly. Let me say that. And this area right here, we had a couple of utility poles that was in the way. So what we have to do, we have to go around the utility poles. But as you're going around the utility poles, you still have to maintain a minimum balance of 4 feet. So this contract right here with Calvert Concrete Ready Mix, not only did they give us a cheaper price, but as I spoke to him personally, one-on-one, he seemed like, they understand the work a little bit more. They didn't have all the questions of, well, we need to do this, we need to backfill, the height is too high and all this, what are we going to do? Well, caught my attention when you asking me what to do and you're the contractor. So some of the things didn't add up, as we say, and that's the reason why we went with the bid that we went with.
Yes, because we did interview as part of the pre-bid meeting. We interviewed, pretty much spoke to all the contractors, every questions we had. We wrote them down, and then when we did the second interview with the 2 lowest bidders, we did walk them back on the street again to make sure that they understood this is what you're bidding, and this is the price is still the same. They did confirm that with Purnell, so we are confident that they could do the work for the price. And because they're a company that owns pretty much the concrete and all the materials, we're really just charging for labor. So we're hoping that this will be a good relationship with this company so we can get a lot more streets done in Bladensburg.
Excellent. And I think you also mentioned that we've used this particular contractor. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the other contract. Okay, no. So this is our first time using Calvert Mix. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Just real quick for Mr. Purnell or Ms. Watson. So, for instance, 2, 3, 6 months up the road, because it's what do you call it, repair and we said replace and repair. What did you say? What do you call it? It's remove and replace.
Remove and replace.
Remove and replace.
Yes. It's just a constructional term.
Yeah. But 6 months up the road, there's a crack in the concrete. Are they responsible for repairing that, or is there a warranty?
Yes, ma'am. If any workmanship or that they do, most contracts have a warranty up to a year.
All right.
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
But I personally spoke with him. No, I do not know him, but I explained to him as a town representative what we are looking for.
Mm-hmm. And I appreciate you brought them back out a second time,
yes,
just to ensure that they understood the scope of work. So there's not a huge shift with an invoice for $50,000 after the work is done because they didn't understand what our needs were. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. And as we did talk about, and we will say a little bit about change orders. You have change orders in construction. Everything is not designed. Not saying design is not always right through a satellite view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Councilmember Blunt, I changed my screen. I couldn't see if you had a hand up. Okay. So with that, I'll call for a motion for contract approval for Calvert Ready Mix in an amount not to exceed $65,115.80 for sidewalk and curb repairs using CDBG PY50 funds for Tosick Road. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Are there any other questions at this time from the council? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. That contract is approved. We're next on to the contract for the wash house stabilization for the Bostwick House using MNC PPC Historic Preservation Funds. I'll turn it over to the town administrator.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a contract with Colossal Contractors, Inc. for work at the Bostwick House Wash House. This is a stabilization project that was funded by Maryland Capital, National Capital Park and Planning, Historic Preservation Funds for $50,000. The lowest responsible and responsive bidder was Colossal Contractors with a $49,500 bid. They do have the experience necessary with historic properties. The reason why this is a specialized project is because it falls as a historic property, and there's certain metrics that have to be met when you're working with historic projects, and they are a certified bidder that can do this type of work. Will Kaywood and Mr. Sam Parker helped to review this bid with me. Amon Trust, which is part of the Amon Trust, who's been working on all the historic projects with us. If you have any other questions, I'm here to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you, Town Administrator. I know we discussed it quite a bit, so I'll go ahead and call for the vote. Is there a motion for approval of contracting with Colossal Contractors for the wash house stabilization for Bostwick House using MNC PPC Historic Preservation Funds?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Blunt. Any comments or questions for the staff regarding this contract? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The contract is approved. And next, we are to discuss phase 2 of the 57th Avenue lighting project for CDBG PY49R funds for light maintenance. Town Administrator, I'll turn it over to you.
Again, good evening. This is a contract with lighting maintenance for an amount not to exceed $107,950.91 for lighting for the 57th Avenue Phase 2 program. We requested additional funding for this program from the CDBG program, the reallocation this last year, and received $100,000. The bid that we received was for we received 2 bids from this contractor, one that was for $104,000 and this one for $107,000. The $104,000 is for 5 lights. The $107,000 is for 6 lights. So for the additional light, we decided that was more that would get us further down the street. The town started this project with some funding from the Department of Housing and Community Development, which was a $150,000 grant, which was allocated to the town in 2020. We finally got those lights up this last fiscal year. So this is a continuation of that project. The expected construction time for this would be in the next few months this summer, because since these are CDBG funds, the intent is to get the money out as soon as possible because these are federal funds with a limited timeline. The contractor has agreed to the federal guidelines for this project, and I will be here for any other questions you have on this project. Thanks.
Thank you. I know we spent some time going through it in the earlier meeting, so I won't belabor it, but just appreciate the continued effort to improve the lighting on 57th Avenue because we have so many pedestrians who come across that walkway on a daily basis and even late into the evenings. Council, is there a motion to approve the contract for phase 2 of the 57th Avenue lighting project using CDBG PY49R funds?
Mayor.
Thank you. Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I have a question.
Oh, sorry, Councilmember. Go ahead.
Question. The lighting is good, but I wanted to ask one question, maybe to Pernell or you administrator. When you're coming down 57th Avenue, like from the store, I think Emerson, there's no line that's dividing the cars. It's just you can be on one side of the street because there's no, line that takes you from the left to the right, or you on my side, I'm on your side. There's no line at all. So I was just concerned about that, that's all.
I know that we have some equipment to do the street. Basically that's the median line. Purnell, can we use our equipment to do that or to replace that median line? Is that what you're talking about, Councilwoman?
Yes,
Is that what? Yeah. I'm gonna.
Good afternoon, Councilmember Blunt. Yes, ever since I've been here, that street is so wide, it did not ever have any type of middle double yellow line in it, but I don't see why we cannot have one installed.
Thank you. I mean, since we lighten it up, thank you. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am, we'll work on it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So again, is there a motion to approve the agreement for phase 2 of the 57th Avenue lighting project using CDBG PY 49R funds for lighting maintenance?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any other comments or questions before calling the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The contract is approved. Next, we have the approval to enter into an agreement with Green Mechanics for 2 green bus shelters. Town Administrator, we'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is our final contract for the evening. It's a contract with Green Mechanics Benefit LLC to construct 2 green bus shelters using Maryland Energy Administration funds for up to $60,000. The town applied for a Maryland Energy grant and received approximately an award of about $400,000. Part of it was to construct these 2 green shelters. One will be on the corner of Annapolis Road and Edmonston, which is right in front of the shopping center where the Checkers is. And the second actually goes right here in front of Town Hall, where we have a bus stop with no shelter. So both these will be green shelters where the top will be a green roof, and there'll be a solar panel in which people can charge their phones while they wait. As we mentioned in the previous section, this actually has a cooling effect because the vegetation on top of the roof creates a cooler place for people to stand, and that's one of the few bus shelters on both locations where there's no trees and people are just standing out there without any kind of shade. What our goal is to try to see if these can be put in other parts of the town, but these were the first 2 that we put as part of this budget. Actually, the town of Edmonston, if anybody wants to see, has one on the corner of Decatur that is right when you get into the town of Edmonston. If there are any other questions, again, this was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. We reached out to 2 vendors and we only received 1 bid back. So and the timeline for this is we're hoping to sign the contract right after this meeting so that we can get this up by this fall or at least early spring due to if there's any issues with trying to get the plants up onto the roof at the right time. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments from the council? Let me change screens. Sorry, I keep going off the Zoom screen.
Madam Mayor, I have.
Councilmember McBride.
Michelle, TA. Do you think the next step would it be possible to try to get a bus shelter across from Parkview? Because our residents there don't have anywhere to sit.
That's an interesting question. So we are working on some bus benches for some places that we do not have that we don't have any place for people to sit, not necessarily a shelter, but we are putting together a project and we'd like to invite the community out to Juneteenth because we will be putting together some benches that we're asking the community to paint as a community project for areas around the town. I think we're doing about 5 new benches for those so that we can then first show that these are areas of possible that people are waiting so they're not sitting on a curb anymore. And so those will be actually going up this summer as a project. I'd like to pre-thank our Public Works Department and Mr. Hall for building them. They look great already, but they're going to be designed by the community when they come out to our Paint and Celebrate on June 20th, 2025 here at the park. Does that help, Councilwoman? As you gave me a chance to do a commercial. Thank you.
Excuse me, but is that a covered shelter or that's just seating for right now?
It's just a seat for now.
Okay.
It's just a seat for now, but what we can do is try to, say, hey, we have the seat and they're being used, so we need a shelter for those spaces.
Okay. Thank you. That's the start. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. Right, so if there are no other comments, is there a motion to approve the agreement with Green Mechanics to construct 2 bus shelters using MEA funds for up to $60,000?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any further comments or questions before we call the vote? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The contract is approved. Next, following up from the work session discussion about the award of funds, the council agreed that we would approve the 6 community grants to nonprofit organizations serving Bladensburg residents. Town Administrator, would you like to give a recap of those?
Yes, thank you, Mayor, for that. So the town has received 6 groups. The first one is CareCen, the Central American Resource Center, which is for legal services. The second is Eco City Farms, Bladensburg farm operations. The next is We Lead by Example, which is a local youth program that teaches students Taekwondo. GHEP, the Global Health and Education Project, which has a community diaper program. Good Intentions, which is sponsoring the Growth Youth Mentorship Series, and This Goes Boom, which is going to sponsor 2 events in July. And all of these grants are for $2,000. So we have a total of 6, and they all submitted a very complete application to the town for that, in addition to information about their financial structure. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Town Administrator. And I know we discussed it during the work session. So at this moment, I'll call for a motion to approve the FY 2025 community grants for We Lead by Example, CareCen, Eco City Farms, GHEP, Good Intentions, and This Could Go Boom for a total of $2,000 per organization. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions regarding the grant application or grant community grants for $2,000? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you all so much. Next, we have discretionary funds for FY 2025 for the Town Council Awards. Per the work session earlier this evening, Councilmember Blunt designated Chloe's Room for her contribution. Councilmember McBride designated Now Foundation, and Councilmember Brown wanted to turn it back over to you to see if you had a recommendation.
Yes, Bladensburg Elementary School.
All right. So is there a motion to approve discretionary awards for Councilmember Brown to Bladensburg Elementary School, Councilmember Blunt to Chloe's Room, and Councilmember McBride for Now Foundation?
That's a
What
move.
about you?
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any comments or questions before calling the vote?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you called out yours as well.
I did mine last month for
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's-
So okay.
Yeah, it's noted on the summary report. I
Okay.
shared mine with We Lead by Example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I look. Didn't want to leave
Thank
you out.
you. I appreciate it.
Didn't want you to leave you out.
Thank you. And then again, the staff will follow up with Councilmember Dixon once she gets back in town to determine her allocation. So with that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. The discretionary funds have been awarded. And now we are finally at the point for staff reports, beginning with the town treasurer, because we want to hear more about the budget, Mr. Tonelli.
Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. Okay, everybody should have a report in their binders, and it's also available online. We are falling behind budget this fiscal year. Expenses are within range for all the departments, but we are having a revenue problem. And that is, with the automated traffic enforcement, as we talked about last meeting, we budgeted what we thought, and we have good drivers in town. So it's causing a deficit there. There's also some money due to us that's not in the revenues right now for work with the state bond bill, and also to be reimbursed for the damage to the public works building from Legit that we submitted all the expenses, and we hope that is going to be in by the end of this month. And also we keep the books open. We call the books. We keep the books open through August because there are state reimbursements that we wait on, like the income tax reimbursements for tax filings through the end of June. And also, we normally do not get the last part of the highway user funds until August 30th. And that is what we will be waiting on. But so far, that's about it. And we're going to be keep going along here. And we made corrections in this next budget year for everything we fell short of this year.
That was a record, Mr. Tonelli. You had 1 minute and 24 seconds. In all these years of working with you, I think that was the shortest.
It took 10 years to get it to that short, Mayor. So.
All right. Thank you. And I know it's not easy when the revenues aren't there as we forecasted, but I appreciate you being flexible and just helping us to stay on track with everything. Next, we'll turn it over to Deputy Chief Dickerson for the public safety report. And then after that, we'll go to code enforcement.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So the Bladensburg Police Department's monthly report for the month of May has been posted and is available on the town website for review. I'll also go over a few events that we have coming up here in the near future. On Thursday, June the 12th at 5 p.m., well, actually, it'll be between 5 p.m. and 6:30 p.m., the chief and the police department will be conducting a community walk, and we're going to start in the 4400 block of Blue Heron Way. On Wednesday, June the 18th at 6 p.m., the police department will be attending the Citizens Police Academy graduation. That will be held at the 4911 Tilden Road in the fire department training room. And that's for all the graduates of our Citizens Police Academy. On Monday, June the 23rd, between 6 and 8 p.m., we will be attending the Police Explorers Award ceremony. That event will be held at Elizabeth Seton High School on Emerson Street. That concludes my report.
Thank you so much for that. And next we'll go over to code enforcement.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First, I want to congratulate the young scholars who did receive the scholarships today. I mean, that's quite impressive, and especially, seeing the young man who we all got to watch grow up, in the town of Bladensburg with his, doing the Pearl Harbor Award was, the Pearl Harbor Monument was spectacular. A brief overview of the code report is this month we issued 76 grass notices. We actually started delivering the new business licensing with the updated fees to our businesses. So far, everybody's been receptive to the increase in the fees, and I'm very understanding with the fees. We attended several community events to include several career days throughout the elementary schools. We also attended a traumatic brain 5K event down in the waterfront park. Very busy and getting some code software and parking software for the town, which is very exciting. And we've attended several code-related trainings throughout the county and the state. And this time it completes my report.
Thank you so much, Officer Reinhardt, for that. Next, we'll move over to the town clerk.
Mayor and council, just wanted to say on May 18th to the 21st, Jessica and I attended the 79th annual IIMC conference. It was a great conference, probably one of the best I've been in in a long time, really long time. Very welcoming. It was a lot of great educational sessions, a lot of networking, a lot of meeting all these different people from our regions. And actually, we have a new president and getting to talk to her and trying to see how we can be more active with our clerk association. Honestly, we learned a lot that we can actually bring back. I know that it's from coming back, we went to the holidays, so we just got to sit back and just kind of sit down with Michelle and kind of talk about what the things that we learned in the conference. But it was a really good conference. Other than that, I just want to say our 2025 election update, June 23rd, the packets will be available to pick up for the election. So we are starting off early, getting everything out 15 weeks before. So that will be ready on June 23rd. Other than that, my remaining report is online. I can't forget to add that for Ray, June 20th is the Juneteenth Pain and Unity event here in the park at 5 p.m.
Thank you. So, okay, residents, you've heard from the deputy chief and now the clerk. There's a lot coming up in terms of events. So we hope to see you coming out to some of these programs. Mr. Hall, over to you for Public Works.
All right. All right. Good evening, everyone. Mayor and council, residents. I'm be kind of short right now. Well, number one is I want to thank the guys. We back in our building. We remodeled the whole. They didn't do the work, but we did the repairs for the inside. You know, before we got back in, a lot of water came in because the building was crashed to the front. So I want to say these guys just did a tremendous job because they was ready to get back into themselves. It wasn't just me; it was more so on them. You know, they did a whole lot of removing of drywall, put new insulation in, removing of the old vinyl tile, put down ceramic tile in the office, in the bathroom. Remodeled a lot of walls that had some mildew on it, repainted everything up. So you know, the guys did a really good job over there, and we'll introduce it to everyone later on. You know, we may have a little, you know, come through. You know,
can we get a tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we might not want to give you a little tour, but we're just gonna have a little plate for y'all to sample a few things, you know, and come by and see. And also,
you all do cook very, very well.
yeah,
I was gonna say, will there be fried fish with that, Mr.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Hall?
I say as the summer get a little warmer, we're gonna make something happen. Okay.
Will there be some jerk chicken with that as well?
Yeah,
jerk chicken.
We're gonna do. We get it. We get it all. We're gonna have some all over the way dishes. Okay. So, and also I want to thank the guys. We attended right here in the town of Bladensburg. The guys attended the sustainable stormwater maintenance class, and which was very helpful for us to a certain point. You know, we only deal with stormwater, you know, drains, catch basins, only just a minor bit. You know, so some of it was a little bit out of the area, but we had to scale them down to let them know what type of guys was in here and where they also came from, you know. So some of it wasn't feasible because we never done it or we never will encounter certain things like that. But they broke it down. We also went up to the library up here to see one of their rain gardens or their bioswales that they have up there too as well. Was very interested in. As we was talking about Public Works guys, it's not only like landscaping. I'm telling you, these guys tackle any job that's thrown. Literally thrown their way. They take their hats off, they put their heads together, they come with a plan. That's what is so super about these guys and the little staff that we have. You know, these guys really do a whole lot. a whole lot. You can go to, I'm not talking about no other places, but we won't talk about that. But bigger municipalities and all this, and you can come around here in Bladensburg and see, what's going on. So, you got, different people coming around here. They're just not going to come to the town of Bladensburg just to be come to the town of Bladensburg, So it's not just public works, but it's the whole staff, period, that makes this town very unique. Let me put it that way. Okay. Oh, that's it? Okay.
We
Well,
kind of cut
that's
into it because we were talking about jerk chicken and fried fish. So we kind of took about 45 seconds. So if you need to wrap it up, we took some of your time. We're going to give it back.
Yeah, no, but Mary, that's basically it. We're getting into the grass cutting season. Like I say, there's a lot of these flowers out here that I'm quite sure a lot of y'all, if you've been in the town, you see the difference in the beautification and on the grounds. And it's not only just at the town hall. The guys go over and beyond to help out other buildings in the town of Bladensburg, just because we're in the town of Bladensburg, to try to beautify what we can do. So I want to take my hats off to them, give them that. And there's a lot of grass cutting. Yeah, everybody know that we're in that grass cutting season. Everybody might say, well, y'all cut grass a lot. Yeah, we cut about 11 to 12, 13 acres, annually. So that's about 2-3 days a week. So, and then along with the other job tasks that we get thrown at us, so we able to catch it like high and catch it and keep moving.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. And to the point about beautification and the training, we are so grateful that one, you're open to these trainings and bringing the guys along with you, but to see the difference from the entryway signs to the beautiful baskets along 57th Avenue. They look fantastic, and it just goes to show you're stepping up the town's look. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we would have been finished, but the piece of equipment that we had to use to get us up in the air, heavy material and stuff like that, it broke down on the first day that we was using it.
Oh no!
So now we had one back tomorrow morning, and it's already staged and we're ready to go.
Okay. It looks amazing. It really does. And again, yeah, we're getting there. But the thing is, and we've said this over many years, beautification is not picking up trash. What you're doing is beautification. So I appreciate, because I check on Fridays when I see the roads are clean and clear of litter, and then what happens over the weekends. And I am seeing a more positive trend. I just hope it continues with not as much being out there, and the emphasis now being on the beautification piece of your work. So thank you so much for everything.
Related to the guys too.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Town Administrator, over to you.
Mayor and Council, you've heard from me a great deal tonight. So I'm going to say that my report is attached, but I just want to say thank you to the staff. I want to express my gratitude to everyone over the last few months. Especially, I always I don't know if I feel like I'm singing a love song to Mr. Hall here, but he made me so happy the other day when I was outside and I just was able to just look at the new roses. I'm almost like crying now because I have to tell you, I was outside and I saw those roses and I was having just a kind of a crappy day, and I said, I can come out here and I can look at these roses and my day was better. Because of the work that our public works team does. And I really do appreciate that, to be honest with you. And just everybody here that just puts in that extra mile. I mean, Vito with the budget, Miss Regine with trying to keep everything going with all these meetings, the chief and them just because keeping us safe. Sean, every time I have an issue with with the sidewalk or getting somebody there. So, really today, I just wanted to say thank you to the staff and all the work you guys are doing. Literally, I am starting to tear up. So thank you guys so much for everything you do, and have a great week.
Thanks. What? That's right. The feeling is mutual. Thank you, Town Administrator. So now we'll pivot to Mayor and Council reports, beginning with Ward 1. I know Councilmember Dixon is not here, so we'll go to Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. Just hello again to the residents on screen, residents here in the audience, staff, Mayor and Council. And I echo, thank you all, staff, for doing such a wonderful job. Really, it's just a pleasure, being a part of this town here in Bladensburg. Our town administrator, I mean, you really do, drive it and on point and produce productivity. And we see those results, from you and with the whole staff. So Public Works, Police Department, Clerk, Code Enforcement, Mr. Vito, Finance. I mean, this budget session here that we had, I mean, it's a real tough one, but we got through it, and just thanks for all of the dedication and the attention that's been paid to this, because I mean, y'all make it look easy, but we know that it is not easy at all. I attended a lot of town events. The Memorial Day the event was very nice, and we congratulated Ethan Mendoza again, because that Pearl Harbor Memorial, I mean, it is amazing, and all of the hard work that him and his team put into that memorial. I mean, and the number of years, I think it took them like 3 years to do that. So that's congratulations to all of the Soaring Eagle recipients. One thing that we definitely love to do in Bladensburg, and that is to embrace and highlight our residents and our people here, and especially our youth, for just excelling and doing such a wonderful job. On July the 19th, that's going to be our next community meeting. It's going to be from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. here in Town Hall. So we open that up on a Saturday, so that residents who may not get a chance to tune in on Mondays can come out on that day and have a sit down with us, and we can do an exchange. They can ask questions and we can give answers. So just mark your calendars on July 19th. And remember, just this meeting happens the second Monday of each month. So tune in, come out, be engaged. Come to the events that we have up and coming. So that's it for me. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Next, we'll go to Councilmember McBride.
Councilmember McBride will be very brief. But I do want to say I am very grateful for working with the town of Bladensburg. My heart was truly made glad tonight when I heard about the farm. Something that was laid on my heart when I first came to the council, and to see the flowers and put out flowers are my thing. That was my thing with my grandmother when I was coming up. So I always love flowers. And thank you for all you do for the sidewalks, for the traffic lights, for the code enforcement. I'm grateful that I work in a town where we try to work together. Because I know together we stand and divided we fall. So I'm truly happy. I'm going to say two things I attended. I attended the Boswick House event, and I attended the Memorial Day. And I'm truly grateful for Ethan with the Pearl Harbor statue, memorial statue. And that's basically it. I wish you all well, be safe. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Councilmember McBride. Councilmember Blunt, over to you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm gonna ditto everything that Councilmember, look, I'm gonna say Brown. Councilmember McBride Brown, what you said about the town of Bladensburg. It's truly amazing of the work you all do, and keep uplifting each other. Whatever you do, uplift each other. But I do want to talk about and say thank you to the police department for coming up, and my residents showed out for the anti-bullying event that we did here for our residents, because seniors, woosah, you all did. You all did an excellent job, because the residents, that's all they was talking about once you all left, about bullying, harassment, the whole 9 yards, when they supposed to be living their best life instead of being bitter and mean. So again, thank you for that. I do have, I want to talk about, we have a health fair June the 17th at the Emerson House for seniors. We have over 25 health and resource people that will be here just giving out information. We have several screenings that will be going on. I recommend the memory screening because a lot of us deal with our memory. We have Department of Aging, Register of Wills, Food Bank. We have a lot of people that would be here, and you will be provided lunch. I do have transportation for Parkview and Newton Green to get to the health fair. So I look to see y'all June the 17th. A flyer will be going tomorrow to your buildings. Also, two more things. If there's any nonprofit organization out there that's struggling, needing help, or want to just round table what you do for the town of Bladensburg, please call the office and ask for maybe Ray or the administrators so that we can set up a round table with the nonprofits, because it's a lot of small nonprofit business, not the big ones, even though you're welcome to come, small that don't even know how to access our services when it's easy to do so. If there are any small nonprofits out there, please tell them don't hesitate to look out and ask us for help. And don't forget about September, the senior gathering. That's going to be some fun. Get your karaoke voices together. So again, that's all I have.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Blunt, for that report. And I will try to be just as brief. May was a short month for me because I had to travel for work and some personal affairs for half the month. But I did have the opportunity to attend the MML board meeting, which was hosted in Frederick, Maryland by the MML board president. And I just wish we had more time there. There's a project that I think we need to take a field trip to, the Carroll Creek project, because flooding devastated Frederick for decades. And this project took about 40 years to come to fruition, 30 to 40 years. But what they've done with it, I think, can inspire the type of development that we want to have at the waterfront park. But you just have to see it to understand how they were able to lay the infrastructure to remove the flooding situation. But then on top of that, they installed almost like a false bed, if you will, with a couple of just a few feet of water. So it looks like a river flowing through the town, but it is absolutely beautiful. There's park space that flows throughout. And I think that it could give us, again, some inspiration as we think about what we want to do with waterfront development at the town of Bladensburg along the waterfront park moving forward. The other thing I want to express my gratitude for to the staff is for the community event at Boswick. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was not the best attended event because we had about 5 different things going on the same day. Yeah. But for those who did attend, that was a long time coming. I sat on the steering committee for Boswick House from, I think it was like 2019 to 21, and just envisioning that as a starter to show the community what is possible, to invite people in to see the house, to understand the history, to really activate that space. And so to actually see it take off and see what's possible for future events is great. We'll do it next time so there's not a schedule conflict with Cinco de Mayo and the traumatic brain injury walk and all these other things that were happening the same day. But nonetheless, our team put on a beautiful event that will really help us as we try to build the story for the value of that Boswick House and the engagement and activation in the community. That's what the state needs to see as we try to go through and solicit more funding for that particular project. So those were just 2 things I wanted to highlight for activities for the month of May. But just again, as everyone has stated, we truly appreciate the dedication of our staff. They could work anywhere and they choose to work here. And we are so grateful because our residents benefit from your genius, your talent, and your professionalism. So thank you. And with 13 seconds left, I will stop there and say we're at the end of our agenda, and I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any comments or questions before calling the vote?
One more question.
I do. I have one more. Really, I do.
She really has one.
Well, I know Parkview spoke, senior building spoke, and I want them to know that not under the town council that I can work with them, but under my grant that I have here for Emerson House, I'm willing to go in to the Parkview and work with them if they still there, because I can do that, but not under the council, but under my grant do I have here that I can go and help you build your council.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. And the residents are still here, so they were able to hear that update. Thank you. Did you have something also? Okay. So with that, I'm going to hurry up and call the vote. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown, for being online. I'm sorry, Blunt. Blunt.
I know B&B, right?
B&B. Have a good night, everybody.